It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo will win the Italian Grand Prix!
Eguavoen running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Upset, so I think I'll be running the show solo today. Notwithstanding, I still have a lot of interesting stories in today's episode of Sports Orbit. Of course, there's the NPFL. A lot of matches went down during the weekend, and also in the EPL, interesting matches also went down in the EPL during the weekend. And we also saw what happened in the Carabao Cup last night, where Liverpool and Chelsea slugged that one. That and so much more. Of course, the Pobeni boat race also ended yesterday in Abuja, where Team Delta emerged winners in that one. That and so much more I'll give you in this episode of Sports Orbit. First, we'll begin from home here in the NPFL, where Rivers United have continued their fine form as they maintain the lead, while Enyimba of Aba actually suffered another defeat in that crucial Oriental derby against Heartland right there in Aba. In other fixtures, it was Abia Warriors who were 2-1 victors against Shooting Stars, and Dakada FC also took their pound of flesh against Lobby Stars of Makudi, and Enugu Rangers versus Kano Pillars. It was a very interesting heavyweight clash, and it ended 0-0. Then for Heartland, like I said earlier, Heartland FC of Owerri actually defeated Enyimba 1-0 in that one. Enyimba still finding it hard to find some consistency, especially playing away from home. Then for Remo Stars got back to winning ways with a 2-0 win over Katsina United. And for league leaders, Rivers United, it was 2-1 over Nasra United in that one. And with that victory now, Rivers United have maintained their lead at the top of the table. Then Kwara United versus Niger Tornadoes in that North Central derby. Kwara United were 1-0 winners in that one. Then Plateau United also defeated champions Aqua United 3-0 right there at the stadium, right there in Jos. Then for Wiki Tories versus Gobe United, also a Northeast derby, Wiki Tories took that one 1-0, and of course MFM also emerged 1-0 victors over Sunshine Stars. Now with that result, quickly we'll take a look at what the NPFL table is like at the moment, where Rivers United currently lead the standing with 32 points, followed by Plateau United, who have 31 points. Then Remo Stars are back in third position with 26 points. Enugu Rangers are in fourth position with 24 points. Kwara United on 24 points, while Aqua United and Wiki Tourist maintain the 6th and 7th position, respectively, both on 23 points. Enyimba are on the 8th position with 21 points, while Sunshine Stars of Akure 20 points, and Gombe United make the top 10 of the table with also 20 points. And right now, in the last three teams who are in threat of relegation right now are Dakada FC, who have just 15 points, and Katsina United also 14 points, and MFM are also bottom of the table at this point in time. And the way it's looking, looks like MFM might just be going on relegation. Same for Katsina United, except they try to come up with some good results in the next couple of games. Just to inform you that the league is almost halfway. This is match day 15, and another halfway to go on the league will be over. But can Rivers United sustain this tempo and emerge as the winners? We'll get to find out at the end of the league. Anyway, away from that, down to the Admiral Pobeni boat race, which went down here in Abuja, ended on Sunday, where African top-ranked canoeist Ayomide Emmanuel Bello continued her dominance of the sport in the continent with another star performance at the 2022 Admiral Pobeni National Boat Race. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics finally, who represented Bayelsa State at the championship, paddled 4 gold medals to emerge the overall winner of the women categories of the annual championship, which climaxed at the Jabi Lake. With that result, Bello, a gold medalist at the 2019 All-African Games in Rabat, Morocco, won gold, and in the C1 500 meters gold medals. And also, the Team Delta also came gold after winning in the C1 500 meters to emerge as the top of the table. Team Delta finished first overall on the medal table with 12 gold, 10 silver, and 7 bronze, while Rivers and Kogi finished joint third with 1 gold each. A total of 130 athletes from 13 states of Ondo, Kogi, Rivers, Delta, Borno, Bayelsa, Oyo, Kaduna, Kwara, including the FCT, participated in 15 events at the championship. Each of the gold medalists was awarded 100,000 naira, while silver bronze medalists smiled home with a sum of 70 and 50,000 naira each, along with certificates of all participants. The Admiral Pobeni race is an annual boat race competition, actually an elite competition which usually holds at the Jabi Lake Park here in Abuja. With this result, congratulations to Team Delta for putting up that wonderful performance to emerge as the overall winners. And we hope that as the Commonwealth, some of these stars will be able to also participate in some of the water games in the Commonwealth coming up in Birmingham later in the year. Away from that, now on to football, where former Super Eagles star and former coach of under 23 Eagles, Siasia, has actually urged Eguavoen to woo Crystal Palace star Eze to Eberechi Eze to actually switch allegiance in order for him to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Recall that Eberechi currently plays for Crystal Palace out there in the English Premier League, and he's actually British born, but he has the opportunity to still switch allegiance to play for Nigeria. But it's yet to be seen if this move will be made and Eze will be able to switch allegiance. It's interesting to know that Nigeria has a lot of stars out there in Britain who are eligible to play both for Nigeria and also to play also for England. But for lack of a lot of playing time in the English national team, a lot of these players have been in recent times considering to play for Nigeria, and Austin Eguavoen is actually urging interim technical advisor Austin Eguavoen to actually enlist Eze also in the team for the Super Eagles. Now, away from that, now on to, as a fallout from the Russian invasion of Ukraine, you will recall that Roman Abramovich, who is also a Russian and a close ally of the Russian leader Vladimir Putin, who currently owns Chelsea, has decided to step back from running the club directly, and in the meantime has handed over the club to the board of trustees of the Chelsea Foundation, actually, to take over the club, the running of the club. That doesn't mean that Abramovich is no longer the owner of the team. He's still very much in control of the team, but for now, looking at the situation going on in Ukraine and with sanctions coming in from Britain, it's only a smart move for him to step back in the day-to-day running of the team so as not to associate the team with what is going on in Russia at the moment. So the club currently is firmly in the hands of the Chelsea trustees, and With this now, bearing any takeover, the Chelsea Board of Trustees will be responsible for the day-to-day running of the club, while Abramovich for now takes a step back from that one. This is hoping that I hope the new board will be able to continue to steer this team to more championships. We recall that since Roman Abramovich took over Chelsea, the club has recorded most of the success they've had in since the club was formed many years ago. So we hope that with the Chelsea trustees now in charge of the club, the Chelsea Foundation, we hope that they'll be able to steer the club to more and more championships moving ahead. Now, away from that to the Carabao Cup, which was played last night, an interesting game we saw there. And after 120 minutes of football, it was 0-0. And in the penalties, Liverpool actually won the penalties. It was actually 11-10. It was actually a very massive game, an end-to-end affair. The game actually recorded about four goals were scored in that match, and were all recorded for offside. And this game went on to penalties where Liverpool actually triumphed 11-10 on that one. Interesting to know that everybody who took a penalty in that match actually found the back of the net until it was time for both keepers on the side to take. And Kepa at this point was the fall guy for this one. He that penalty completely blew it into space or wherever he wanted to put that penalty, and that eventually gave Liverpool the Carabao Cup win. Congrats to Liverpool on that one. Although Chelsea can be consoled that in recent times, since Thomas Tuchel took over the club, they've been able to win about 3 titles, if I'm not mistaken. So sometimes you win some, you lose some. So it won't be a bad thing for them to leave the Carabao Cup for Liverpool to actually have a feel of this trophy also under the club. This will actually be his first Carabao Cup since he took over charge of Liverpool. Congratulations to Liverpool, and we hope that in other competitions to come, well, Chelsea are still in the FA Cup, and I think it's another opportunity for them to still chase some more silverware before the end of the season. At this point, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll still have a couple of stories to give you right here on Sports Orbit. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that break. You're on to Sports Orbit, reaching you from the Leadership Podcast Studio. Now on to tennis, where Rafael Nadal has continued his perfect start to 2022 by beating Cameron Norrie 6-4, 6-4 to lift the Acapulco ATP title in his first tournament since winning the Australian Open. Nadal needed 1 hour and 54 minutes to beat Britain's 12th-ranked Norrie for the fourth time in as many career meetings. Cameron is a very solid player. He's a tricky player. He makes you feel that you cannot play comfortably with him, Nadal said. I had been going through some very difficult moments in the match, but the world number 5 wasn't too unsettled to claim a 91st career victory and his fourth win in Acapulco after wins in 2015, 2013, and 2020, as he did in 2020. Nadal won this week without dropping a set, and he remains undefeated since losing to Lloyd Harris in the third round at Washington last August 5. He ended his 2021 season after that because of a left foot injury. Recall that Rafael Nadal just became the first man to win 21 Grand Slams after winning the title at the Australian Open that was held in January. Congratulations to Nadal, and he has continued from where he left off, actually from the Australian Open, by actually claiming this Acapulco title out there in Mexico. With the Wimbledon also fast approaching, so the French Open fast approaching. Nadal will be hoping to also take his fine form into the French Open. Recall that when it comes to clay, the French Open is actually a clay event, and Nadal is considered as the master of clay, and it's hoped that he'll actually be one of the tennis players to tip to win the French Open as it comes on soon in the course of the year. Away from that, now to the English Premier League, where a couple of matches actually went down in the EPL this weekend. Of course, the first match for the weekend saw Leeds United play against Tottenham Hotspur, and it was 4-0 in favor of Tottenham, winning Leeds United away from home, and that result has actually led to the sack of Marcelo Bielsa, who was sacked after that defeat. Leeds United have had the weakest defense in the Premier League this season. So far, Leeds United have conceded 60 goals in this season's Premier League. Very, very bad, poor form, if you ask me, especially when it comes to their defense. Marcelo Bielsa used to playing a very high attacking brand of football, and that has not paid off for him coming to the EPL. He actually took over Leeds United 3 years ago while they were in the Championship, promoted them to the Premier League, and last season they finished ninth in the EPL. But this time around, things haven't gone quite well, and the board of Leeds United have found it an excuse to fire him from the job, even though he has done so much for the club, for bringing them from the Championship to the Premier League. In the other game, it was Brentford who lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle United. Newcastle United have some of resurgence in recent times, especially with a few purchases they made during the January transfer window, who seem to be working in their favor. Also, Steve Gerrard's Aston Villa are also climbing up the table, especially with this 2-0 defeat over Brighton and Hove over the weekend. And since Gerrard also took over at Aston Villa, Aston Villa has been moving up the table. Recall that before his appointment, Aston Villa were struggling in relegation waters, but they seem to be moving high up the table consistently since Gerrard took over. Then for Crystal Palace Burnley, it was 1-1 out there, and Patrick Vieira also has been able to steady the ship at Crystal Palace. That 1-1 victory was crucial, and he has helped them to move also up the table. Therefore, Man United, Watford, it was another draw for Man United, as Watford put up a good fight to play out a goalless draw out there at Old Trafford. And with this result, now Man U's hopes of finishing in the top four for this season actually hangs in the balance. Man U have not been able to win crucial games that would have separated them from the other chasing pack. With this result against Watford, they are just 1 point above Arsenal, who actually won that one against Everton on Thursday. Actually, then for Everton, Man City won that one, a narrow 1-0 victory. But it was a very controversial encounter where Everton thought they had a clear shout for penalty, but Vieira ruled otherwise by ruling that one completely not a penalty. But clearly, the ball actually was handled the ball by a Man City player, but Vieira thought otherwise, and Man City were 1-0 winners in that one. Not too good times for Frank Lampard at this point in time. He actually hoped that that penalty would have earned him a crucial away win, a crucial home draw against champions Man City, who are currently 4 points above Liverpool, who have a game in hand, considering that they were in action yesterday against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Right, viewers, so for now, this is all I have for you on this episode of Sports Orbit. But before I go quickly, we'll take a look at the EPL table where Man City are still on top of the log with 66 points. Liverpool, with a game in hand, have 60 points, while Chelsea also have just played 25 matches, so they actually have 2 matches in hand. Chelsea have 50 points, 10 points behind second place Liverpool, while Man United are still fourth with 47 points. But it will be recalled that Man United have played far more games than Arsenal, who have played just 24 games and have 45 points. If Arsenal continue in their winning form, they might likely topple Man United as it goes. Then Tottenham Hotspur are also not far behind, also have 42 points with 25 games played so far. Wolverhampton Wanderers, actually, that's Wolves, have 26 points, played 26 games and have 40 points, while Southampton are number 9 with 34 points from 26 games, while making up the top 10 is Brighton and Hove, who have also 26 points, 33 points rather from 26 games. Now the bottom 3 are actually Burnley, who have just 21 points from 24 games. Watford also fighting relegation hardly, and that also led to the sack of former coach Claudio Ranieri. Watford still have just 19 points, while Norwich City have just 17 points out of 26 games. And the way it's looking, looks like Norwich City can't escape relegation this time around. I recall that Norwich City just got promotion to the Premier League, but it seems like they might just be going back to where they came from. And for Everton too, it's not looking too good. Just 1 point above relegation zone. Same for Leeds United, who are just 2 points against the relegation zone. So these teams all have everything to play for the remaining games of the season. And at the end of the 38 matches, we'll see if the likes of Everton, Liverpool, Brentford, and Newcastle will be able to still stay afloat. But for the likes of Watford and Norwich City, it's really going to be a tough battle to see them actually escape relegation. Well, that's the EPL table for now after match week 27. So we'll keep on upcoming matches. Some outstanding games will be played in the course of the week. We'll keep an eye on that one and give you reports of those ones as it pans out. So for now, this is where I draw the curtain on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Notwithstanding, my colleague and usual partner on this show, Salif Usman, was unavoidably absent, but God willing, tomorrow he'll be here and will give you a bumper and a more exciting package on Sports Orbit. For the meantime, I remain your host, Afacho, and stay safe out there, and it's bye-bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.